Trippers, and welcome to our next adventure. So it is Easter and we are currently camping at a little place called Tyndala in New South Wales. It's not far over the Victorian border into New South Wales, in a place called Clark's Lagoon Wildlife Reserve. And you wouldn't believe it, but we're actually camping right next to the Murray River. Yes, that's right. So the Murray River actually starts up in a little spot up near Kosciuszko in New South Wales, and then comes through. You'll have seen at the start of our video, we were travelling over the Hume Lake, which is a massive lake system, and the Murray starts up at Kosciuszko and runs down through the Hume Lake, which was created to basically dam the Murray and stop it from flooding a lot of the areas further down into Victoria, and then it continues on through Victoria as we know it. So depending on different water levels and things that the Hume is getting from a lot of the snowfields surrounding areas that run into the Hume as well, they have to let that out, and that's what sometimes, if the Hume gets just way too full, they have to let more out down into the Victorian side of the Murray, which causes the flooding that we've heard about and seen at different times throughout some of the regions in Victoria as well. So it's actually really interesting to see the Murray up this side. It's quite low at the moment. I'll show you around and see what it looks like. So it's actually quite low at the moment. This can get quite high, obviously, and we've never been into these parts, but our friends Kim and Tones have camped up this way in the past, and they've said that all these beaches weren't exposed like they are at the moment. So this is actually really nice to be able to get to some of these exposed beaches. And you can see it's quite different to the Murray back in the Victorian area. This bit's a little bit more sandy and silty, but just further up down that way it's quite rocky and more like you'd expect a river system to be. It's very still and quite shallow here at the moment, but just up around the corner there's it's quite fast flowing and quite a bit of rapids, so it's deceiving at the moment how actually still it looks, because there'd be quite a bit of fast undercurrent going on through there. It's a warm day today. Today's going to be the last of the warm days. Today's Easter Sunday. We arrived yesterday here on Easter Saturday, and we managed to we've found that like all the free campsites are absolutely heaving, and we knew that it would be down our way, sort of in Toke and along places like that, all the way through to Barmer along the river system there. The campgrounds are insane. Ulapna is apparently been reported as being ridiculously over packed with people just cramming in, that they're actually having to put their tent pegs on top of other people's tent pegs, and that's just not the sort of camping we're interested in. So we decided to come down further into New South Wales. We've managed to get ourselves a week away over this Easter break, and knew it was going to be a risk coming down on Easter Saturday. You know, at other times of year, apparently all these campgrounds, and there's a heap as we've come through along the outer edge of the Hume, there's stacks that have they're normally, even at Christmas time, pretty quiet, and you can usually get a camp spot no problems along these systems. And I mean, honestly, even now in this particular reserve, it's not marked as a free campground on Wiki or anything like that. It's a reserve. You are allowed to camp here, but there's no facilities, so you have to be completely self-sufficient. So this spot is fantastic and ideal. As I said, Tones did bring his little boat up, but it looks like the river's too low here to actually get the boat in. So we might just do some fishing from the side. This is apparently also a very good fishing spot as well. You get all the usual suspects that you get down in Victorian River up here as well. So we'll try for some cod a bit later in the day when it's cooled down a bit. So there's a spot up here that when we arrived, it's tucked around. Some people have already secured that spot. It's really lovely. It's got some shaded area, but it's also got a beautiful water view and this beachy area. And then we've been able to just tuck in near the entrance. That's it over there. It's actually really nice where we are because we're getting a shade for a lot of today. So it's just naturally keeping the campsite nice and cool. We'll come down sort of later this afternoon and enjoy this whole beachfront section and have a bit of a swim and enjoy that. As I said, the next couple of days are forecast for some rain. It's cooling right down to the low 20s, and then the rest of the week is not forecast for rain, but low 20s. So we may or may not stay in this area because we've got a week. We may end up venturing on and trying out some different spots. But for now, this is really nice, and we'll enjoy the last of the really hot day to be able to just come down here and have a swim. Later on, have a fish, and we'll see how we go. But there's plenty of wood supply here too as well, without affecting anything. Obviously, you only take dead things that are not of an obvious habitat to anybody or anything. But yeah, there's some, if you can hear in the distance, lots of bird life. I suspect we had some possums. There's massive wombat holes through here. So clearly there's some resident wombats as well. But yeah, it's a really beautiful spot. And we'll see where else this awesome Easter adventure takes us. Righto, so the campground that I showed you that was right on the water here, the campers have left this morning, Easter Monday, and we're here for the rest of the week. So we're going to try the challenge of getting the caravan into this very awkward spot. We've already had... Beautiful. It's beautiful though, it's worth it. But he's already had to try a bite of reversing the van into this precarious area, and it wasn't overly successful on this side. Kimbo's bringing in her car that way, so driving in won't be a problem. So what we're going to attempt to do is drive the van in and then do probably a 10-point turn up here to turn it round so that he won't have to reverse the van out of here. In theory it should work, so we'll see how things go. There was also a track that they've walked down along the river here, but it gets quite soft in this section. Although we could air down everything and winch if we needed to, we'd prefer to try this first. Tony, you watching him, yeah?
Oh mate, you're right. I'll watch your left hand side in that tree.
Oh, he made it look really easy driving in. Now the tricky part will be trying to manoeuvre it around to reverse.
Ready when you are, mate. Still okay. Clear, mate. I don't think I get to turn there, Jack. Righto, don't go any lower.
Oh.
Easy, mate.
Jeez, Jay, made that look a bit easy. What? What was all the fuss about? There we are. Now we'll level it off and we will get set in this awesome space. Oh, oh. Oh, it's so cute. This place will be crawling with wombats with those holes. Yeah. I reckon if we went for a night walk now, we'd see heaps of them.
It doesn't look that big.
No, that one doesn't, does it?
Because I chucked the bag of lettuce over there. No, I took the lettuce on the ground. There's sticky lettuce. There's slimy lettuce.
Well, we've spent now 6 days in this gorgeous wildlife reserve, and it's just been such a pleasant time to be able to mostly sit by the campfire and just enjoy our surrounds. We've been graced with the sounds of teeming amounts of wombats in the evening. We saw a fox last night. There's possums, 1,000,001 types of different bird species. So it's just been absolutely stunning. The Murray here is just too low to have been able to take even Tone small boat out on here, because there's some banks that are just too exposed, and it would have made it really difficult. So we've still got a couple of days left of our holiday up our sleeve, so we're going to travel back towards home in Victoria and actually look at trying to find one of those campgrounds that we saw dotted along the Hume Lake, and see if we might be able to put the boat in somewhere there this afternoon, and potentially get the rods out before we have to go back. But this has definitely been an absolutely beautiful spot to stay and just relax and unwind. Here, I've got the radio. Hang on, Jay.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. Keep going.
Can't park this way.
Well, this is a little bit of spectacular. We have pulled up in a huge open area or I suppose it's in the area of Grenia, and it's right on the Murray, on the water's edge. As you can see, this is a very different section of the Murray than where we've just come from. It's much wider as it starts to get closer to the actual Hume Lake. So we should be able to put the boat in as well and have a bit of a fish this afternoon. But have a look at that. Spectacular right on the water. This is going to be an absolutely beautiful spot for the night. It's a shame we haven't got a couple more days here in this spot. This is one of the spots we would have noticed that actually had quite a few caravans when we came through on Easter Saturday, understandably so. But wow, this is beautiful. So I, for the first time, just drove the caravan down from the main road while the boys came down and actually walked and checked the area to make sure it was really solid underfoot, which it is. So that was pretty exciting. It wasn't difficult, but it's the first time I've actually pulled the van anywhere. That was good. There's quite a few areas like this, not quite as wide, all along this stretch of road. So in the off peaks, it's still school holidays though, but yeah, as you can see, we've got it all to ourselves. Well, I better go and help with the settling in. It's pretty disappointing that, in this beautiful space, that it's all surrounded by state park area, so we are allowed to camp here, but then you pull up and there's obviously been a large communal fire, which is fine. And I would say whoever has had this, it looks more like some animals have potentially come along and dug up what was here. They probably thought, and yeah, you can see like there's a bone, so they've probably been encouraged by the smell of the bone to come and dig into the fire pit. But this sort of creates a couple of situations. One, if they've left when that was still quite warm, which it is, even though you douse it out, it can be quite warm. An animal might have come through not that long after and trying to get this out and has potentially burnt themselves trying to get it out. But then you've got all this just waste scrap everywhere that if they'd made sure this could have been burnt easily before they had decided to extinguish this fire, but they've clearly just put the rubbish on right near the end or into the pit and thought that will do. They've also clearly put cans and bottles, and the amount of people that do this is astonishing. Fires do not get rid of bottles and cans, and now that's created a potential disaster over time. As I said, this is normally covered in water. So if down the track the water levels are a little bit higher, and you've got kids that want to come here and swim, they'll walk straight into that and cause themselves no end of hurt and worry. So it's pretty selfish of people to do that, and it's not that hard. You bring it in, you take your rubbish out. Obviously paper, things like that should burn, but put it in and give it time to burn, not wait until you're about to leave and throw it in a hole and think that that's okay, because now we'll just go around and try and clean this up as best we can, but it's a big mess. This is an excellent demonstration of how to get yourself out of a mess without ruining too much of the environment. There's no need to have bagged it out, as you can see. Kim only just gently tried to roll out of the water and it had sunk down, so the boys have got her to stop immediately before digging holes. They're airing down and they've just used what's around them. We do have shovels and things like that, but at the moment this is a great demonstration of if you don't have that sort of equipment. Tynes is just airing down with a screwdriver, and Jason, as you can see, has just used some sticks, small logs like tracks, dug a little bit of room in front of the tyres that have dug in a bit, popped them in, so hopefully there'll be enough traction with that and all the tyres being aired down a bit for Kim just to gently roll out without incident. That's the theory anyway. We'll see if further intervention will need to be used. Tynes is just unhooking the trailer as well, just to give it maximum ability to get out. That trailer's really light. They can just pull that out themselves. It's just giving her every opportunity to come out without a problem.
Try that again, Kim.
So clearly, as you can see, it hasn't been enough with these small logs, so they're unhooking the max tracks now. We'll put those in place and give it another go. So Jay's just re-digging out the bit of dirt and front mud in front of the tyre here. Put that track in. Tynes is on the other side doing the same thing on the rear wheel. The small logs that Jay's already put on the front wheel here are already under the wheel type, so they should be okay. Hard part, suctioning in. Yeah, you can see it's been quite soft there. So even with the gentle exit, really, some people just dig massive holes before they even decide to start to try and recover. You can see that that would have been a disaster if they'd done this here. Just from, just gentle exiting.
Look around and see where else.
It's still left that sort of mark which will wash down. This is usually well underwater anyway. The water is quite low, but underfoot it's quite solid, so you can see how soft it is closer to the water anyway.
Underfoot it feels good. Just got to add another 2.9 tonne.
But that's why you have equipment with you, so that if you need to do these type of things, or want to do these type of things, you have a way to get yourself out of trouble.
Grab one of the snatch straps or something and snatch it out.
And those tracks have certainly been worth their weight in gold of recent camping trips.
I'll try and straddle this mud here, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
Happy there?
Good job, boys.
Another day on the river.
Yeah. And go Kimbo. So the exit strategy today is that we're actually going to attempt something a little different. This has got a tilt function on this trailer, so they're backing it up to where the boat is, going to tilt it and see if it's possible to actually use the winch and winch it from there so we don't have to get the car so bogged down.
Should get the car on first, shouldn't we?
Well, yes, possibly. Okay, take two in a minute. All right, this will be take two.
Depends on how you want to do it. You want to see what it's capable of, or you want to make it a little bit easier? Let's make it easier. So it would be good to know if you could do something like this. Yeah, alright. We shall. Alright,
Kind of needs rollers or something, skids, doesn't it?
No, just you. Let's have a look at it. You can do not like that.
Okay,
Just hold that for one roller.
hold it all over there. That's too much for us?
You got to try push?
Oh, Nelly. Oh. Oh. All right, not the most dainty way to have it done, but it did work. It did work. Well done.
Got a van coming, don't you pull out.
Gotcha.
Right, you're right our way.
And that concludes our Easter break in these beautiful parts. We are heading back now on the River Road, and we will pass back through Albury-Wodonga, and we'll be stopping in a pub for lunch when we go through Grenia. So we'll look forward to that, and we look forward to catching you on our next exciting episode. Make sure you stay subscribed to not miss a thing. See you next time.